So at this point, I think I just gotta admit, I'm a Bethesda fanboy. So when seeing DeathLoop, assuming that it was a Bethesda-developed game, I was really excited. But looking at the trailers, I was like, this does not look like a Bethesda game. And with a little bit of research, you can see that it's actually an Arcane Lion Studios game. The people that brought Dishonored, it was actually created in the Void engine, which is the same one that Dishonored used, which is why it looks so much damn better than most Fallout games. So I was initially really excited for this, but I didn't get around to playing it until now. Now, the reason why I decided to make a video on this, as originally I wasn't going to, was because I feel like it's a really slept-on game. I didn't really see too much hype for it. Maybe I was just on the wrong corners of the internet. But overall, I didn't really see much traction for the game. But it's honestly been such a fun game to play. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to do just a brief little overview of what DeathLoop is. It's essentially a Groundhog Day situation where you live the same day over and over again. In this case, you play as a character named Colt, whose job it is to break the loop. Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail as to what the loop is. It essentially is just reliving the same day over and over again. It's this big plot on this island where, everyone wants to keep living the same day over and over again. Why it happened, I could do a whole another video about that. I don't really want to do a whole video on that right now. Now, the main objective is for Colt to go through, kill, I believe it's, I want to say 8 different enemies, like main boss type enemies that were essentially Colt's former co-workers in order to break the loop, as Colt is the former commander of the loop. Now, there is a semi-multiplayer aspect to this game, as people can drop into your games as Juliana and attempt to hunt you down and kill you, making you restart the loop. Which is honestly a much cooler concept than I thought it was going to be. Originally hearing that, I wasn't too crazy about it, didn't seem too interesting, but now that I've played through it, it's honestly awesome. This is such a unique and fresh idea. It's honestly relieving when we have we get the same things every year. With Call of Duty, we feel like we get the same stuff every year with every time we get a new Battlefield or a new Halo. At least to me, it constantly feels like it's the same over and over and over again. And this is really a new, fresh idea. And it's gotten a lot of recognition with the Game Awards, getting multiple nominations for things like Best Design, Best Audio, Best Story, getting nominations in those categories. And obviously, the year's not over, so we haven't gotten to the point of voting and stuff like that. But I didn't see a lot of hype amongst players, at least. I didn't really see a lot of people talking about the game. Which to me was quite interesting, because it is a really fun game. I really do recommend you check it out. It's surprisingly one of the better games that I've played this year. For me personally, it's right up there with Elden Ring. Maybe not quite as high, but definitely in the same tier. It's a very fun game with an interesting story, great mechanics, and great graphics. I mean, obviously, gunplay is not a thing for everyone, and it doesn't have the same challenge that Elden Ring has, which is a part of, Elden Ring's, why people love it so much, at least for some people, is because of the difficulty, and it feels so much more rewarding when you beat a game like that, due to the fact that, it's hard, it's meant to be hard, and it's meant to be rewarding. Well, I don't think DeathLoop is intended to be difficult at all. There's definitely some aspects of it that can make it a bit more challenging, whether it be upping the difficulty or, just putting your self-made handicaps, limiting yourself to one weapon, certain abilities, and stuff like that, which is another thing that needs to be talked about in this game. The way they did abilities and weapon attachments in this game are super duper interesting. It really gave me a Dishonored feel with the abilities. Not necessarily how they're selected, but how they work. Honestly, I don't think Bethesda could have pulled this off as well as Arcane Lion Studios did. When it comes to the gun attachments, they're called trinkets. You do have to find these abilities and trinkets over time. Like as the day resets, if you're playing as Colt through the main story, you do lose it if you, 1, die, or 2, if you reach the end of the day and the day resets. Overall, though, it's not too difficult to get that stuff back, but it is very, very interesting to see. There's also a lot of gun variety, which surprised me. Just like the number of guns, the different rarities, like the amount of different things that you can use to kill people is honestly, it's insane. It's just not what I was expecting from this game. I don't really know why. I did try and avoid watching like any videos or anything before playing the game. That's usually the approach that I take with lots of different games, so I can have like a fresh experience. Although, like, it just overall surprised me exactly how good this game is. I really wish that it got a lot more recognition within the community. I haven't really seen, as I said before, I haven't really seen anyone talk about it, which kind of makes me sad, because it's such an interesting game, a unique concept with lots of time that can be put into this game. I'm pretty sure I believe there's multiple endings. I'm not sure how that works. I haven't looked into it yet. I do think it's awesome that we have the ability to go and invade other people's worlds and or their games, sorry, and try and mess with them and kill them, make it more difficult for them. So to me, it just feels, it's really interesting. It's a very unique concept, which is why it's probably nominated for so many awards, because those awards are not done through the community, but instead through other developers and reviewers and stuff. So it's honestly really an interesting game that I highly recommend. Now, something that I mentioned a moment ago was the weapon variety. So there's different pistols, different rifles, different shotguns, many different types of weapons, and many weapons within different categories that can be used. And again, that really surprised me, as it's really not what I was expecting with the game. I was more expecting it to be really, really one-layered when it came to that kind of stuff. But it did awesome. It did amazing. And as you can tell, there's different varieties of the weapons. Like as you can see right here on Juliana, you get the purple one, the purple rarity. And Cole also can get up to those different rarities to allow him to combat Juliana characters better. And it just overall is such a unique and interesting concept, and I cannot stress that enough, because it does deserve a lot more attention than what it's getting. At least from what I'm seeing, there is not a crazy amount of talk about this game, besides the awards it's been nominated for. But it's got a lot of competition from other games as well, as we've seen the success of Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok. 2022 has been a phenomenal year for gaming as a whole, and this is just one of the ones that I feel like flew under the radar and did not get the attention it really deserved. Overall, I do feel like many people would enjoy this game. It's not your traditional Bethesda RPG. It's not traditional at all. It's really unique, and it's honestly been some of the most fun that I've had playing video games recently. Has been trying to go through and piece together the story and the lore and try and make it through this and see it to the end, and enjoy the different aspects and mechanics of the game. And again, it really doesn't feel like a Bethesda game to me. So if you're looking to play a Bethesda game, and looking to get that kind of traditional Bethesda feel, that's not really what this game is gonna have. To me, that doesn't make the game bad at all. But I do know for some, when playing certain games, they want a specific feel, which is a part of why Bethesda has continued to use the creation engine, I feel, is because of how it creates a certain atmosphere and feeling that can be really difficult to replicate otherwise. And that's going to be all for this one. I just wanted to quickly apologize for not uploading sooner. I got sick again, so I'm still dealing with that. It's been a rough couple of days, but I do plan on getting a lot more content out, especially before the new Fallout 76 update comes out. I have a lot more variety content planned, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Thanks for watching.